It's for those students that are pursuing that certificate, it's a required class, but some of you are just taking it because, which is really cool. We're going to start with a poll, so hang tight here. I won't be able to see your faces when I share my screen this way, so I'll sometimes need you to speak up, and I'll ask a question and somebody will need to holler so that I know that we're tracking each other. Okay. Can you see this?
Yes.
Thank you. So today's session, we're going to do a couple of group polls. We'll do some introductions. We'll do a course overview, and then end with questions. We probably will be here about an hour, hour and 15 minutes. You can expect that our live sessions, which there will be 4 of them, will be around an hour or an hour and 15 minutes. So the first poll. My first question is if you put your cursor up on pollev.com vet.sw, does it take you to the poll itself? Can somebody try that?
No, it does not.
Okay, so if you have on your own computer, you would need to type in pollev.com/vetsw, or you can use your phone and text VETSW to the number 22333 and just state what word comes up when you hear the word conflict. Disagreement? Disagreements? Cringe, right? Arguments? Discord?
Who's that from?
Arguments. So the larger the word, the more often it has been submitted. Argue, arguments, cringe, miscommunication, okay. Assertive, okay, nice. Arguing. Fight. Good. So one of the things that we will do is we will do another word cloud at the end of our class and see how the class, and compare the word clouds from the very first day of class to the word clouds from the very last day of class. Bicker, that's a good one. Opposition, that's a good one. Bickering, yep. But the biggest one is the word arguments. Arguments. Anger, yeah. So that brings us to the next word cloud, which is what feelings come up. Now that you're in the classroom, you don't have to do this VETSW anymore. You just put the word in. What feelings come up when you're experiencing a conflict? Anger. Defenses. Scared, frustration, confusion, sadness, frustration. Annoyed, anxiety, sad, scared. Indifferent. alone, annoyed, more frustration. Let's add what body sensations come up when you are experiencing a conflict. What do you notice physically happening to you? Unattainable, hot, tense, sweating, clenching, dry, palms, dry mouth, I would imagine, sweaty palms. Good, now we're getting somewhere. Clenching, shallow breath. Good. Jaw tight, jaw clenched, yep. Racing heart, I imagine. Adrenaline. Wrath, good. Blood pressure. Anxiety. Flushed. Shaking. Yep. Isolating, good. Very good. So, good job, y'all. So I'm going to come out of this and stopping share for a moment. So that is how we feel and think about conflict. And on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being total agreement and 1 being not agreement at all, hold up your hands to say the degree to which you agree with the following statement. Social workers deal with conflict every day. So this is 10, 9, 8. Okay. So we've got 10. We're social workers. This is as number as we get. 10. We got a lot of 10s going. Yeah. Some 8s. Good. Yeah. 10s. Good. So it's a big deal. Social work. We are either in conflict, or when we're advocating for others, or we're helping others deal with conflict. And so, so knowing the skills of conflict resolution is really, really good. Moreover, this class will teach a very specific process. It'll teach lots of different processes, but the one that you'll practice, a core one that you'll practice in the class is the classic mediation process, because you can actually have a job as a mediator and get paid, sometimes big bucks, to be a mediator in communities or between organizations or within family situations. So it's definitely an area of specialty that some of you, each year, there's usually 1 or 2 students that are like, wow, I really want to do this. And most students are like, well, I'm glad I have these skills. I'm going to use them a lot, but I don't think I would want to be a full-time mediator. Some of us are natural mediators. Like when we were growing up, people would always come to us with their conflicts, and we always wanted to be in the middle and play peacemaker. Raise your hand if that's you. Yeah. So many of the social workers have been put in that role. And then the question would be, do you like the role, or do you find it an uncomfortable role? So how many of you, let's do a scale of just 1 to 5, because it's a little easier. 5 is I totally love that role. I love being in the middle. It gives me a sense of peace. I feel like I can do something really good. And 1 is I do it, but it makes me nervous. I don't really like it. So what would you say? Somewhere 3, 4, 3s, 4s. So we've got about 3s. We don't have anybody like, yes, give it to me. I love it. Okay. All right. Well, who knows? By the end of class, some of you might be at a 5 on it with having the skills. So what we'll do now is we'll do some introductions. And let me go ahead and share screen again. So we're going to go around the room and introduce ourselves in the following way. We'll give the name, but you'll do your name with alliteration. And this is just so that we can get to know each other, really that I can get to know you, because you probably, many of you know each other. Some of you might not, but so for instance, if I was using my first name, I would say Elizabeth Emu, picking your favorite animal. I'll be Dr. Strand Salamander for the purposes of this class. Where you're from, the type of student you are you an online advanced standing student? Field placement, location, and what you hope to get out of this class. So I will start. I'll give you a little bit more information about my background since I'm providing the teaching for the course. I have a BA in Religion and Latin. When I got out of my bachelor's degree, I taught Latin for a few years. And then I always knew I wanted to be a helping professional. My mom was a psychoanalyst, and I knew I wanted to help people from a psychological perspective. But I chose social work because I saw how my mom kind of analyzed people, and it was kind of like everything that was a problem for them was in their head instead of like real concrete problems in the world. So I liked the social work approach better, especially because it was a strengths-based approach. I worked as a family therapist for almost 3 years right out of school, and then came back to get my PhD. I got my PhD, both my master's and my PhD here at UT. In 2011, both my parents are ordained, or both my parents went to seminary, Christian seminary. My eldest brother became a Buddhist monk when I was very young, and so we had an interfaith family. And I've always had a call, so in 2011 I was ordained, but as an interfaith minister. And I think that also speaks a lot to my interest in conflict resolution and mediation, because sometimes the biggest conflicts that arise in the world stem from differences in religious ideation. And so being an interfaith minister is kind of like finding common ground among them all. I also in 2002 founded the Vet Social Work program over here at the College of Veterinary Medicine. Here I teach stress management, but also communication skills, and I teach conflict management and mediation skills. I'm also a Rule 31 Supreme Court mediator, and have done a lot of mediation training, and engage in mediation skills here with my role. As I said, I'm second generation psychotherapist. My mom was a psychotherapist when I was growing up, psychoanalyst is to be precise. And then my dad is an educator. He was the headmaster of my school. Because my brother became a Buddhist monk when I was very young, I learned to meditate at a very young age, and my brother and my whole family kind of just engaged in mindfulness practice, and meditation was not considered woo-woo. So the reason why that's important is that the first chapter in our textbook is about mindfulness and the importance of mindfulness in conflict resolution. And that makes sense when we looked at our word cloud of all the feelings and body sensations that come up in conflict. Mindfulness can be very, very helpful. These are some of my dogs. This one in the back is Tessa. She's actually passed. And then there's Crockett, who's still with me, and King Solomon is still alive, but he's living with a good friend of mine, because these two, Crockett and King Solomon, did not get along. So that's me. I am Dr. Strand Salamander. I am from here in Knoxville. I spent some time growing up in New Jersey, and some time in the South. Told you that I was a UT student, but now I'm not a student anymore. I did my field placements at community mental health. And what do I hope to get out of this class? Well, I hope to have fun. I hope to get to know you all, and I hope to learn something, because I just don't believe in being a teacher without learning. So teaching and learning goes both ways. Okay, so what we'll do now is, oh, will you take a moment and jot down, because I've got to come out of screen share so that I can see your faces. So will you jot down what you'll be covering, what you need to cover from student? I'm doing the same thing. Field. Okay. Now, because we have some folks that are not with us today, because we have online students in varying degrees of responsibilities that keep people from coming to class, I'm going to go ahead and take attendance so that I can track the folks that are not here, since they will need to watch the video and do a reflection after the fact. So I will go ahead and call attendance. Kayla Nicole Aliosi. Okay, raise your hand because
It's Aloisi.
Aloisi, hi. And is it Kayla?
What?
Is it Kayla?
Yes, it's Kayla.
Aloisi. Okay. All right, Kayla, introduce yourself.
Oh, I get to go first. Okay.
Sorry.
So I say my favorite animal. Okay. I guess I'm Kayla Giraffe.
Well, no, it would be alliteration, so you got to be Kayla something with a K.
Oh, Kayla Kangaroo.
Okay, she's Kayla Kangaroo forever now. Kayla Kangaroo. All right, and what's next, Kayla?
I'm from Oliver Springs, Tennessee. I now live in Maryville. I'm a full-time student. I graduate in May.
Oh.
And then my field placement right now is at the Trauma Center at UT. I do drug and alcohol screenings. I also have a job there as well. And I guess I hope to get from this class, mediation was something I just came into recently that I really didn't know a lot about, but I started to look into it more. And I just thought that learning the more interpersonal skills and how to help people resolve conflict and go about it that way is something I was really interested in, especially working with kids and having to go to court with things like that.
Good. Okay. Glad to have you in class, Kayla Kangaroo. Now, is it okay if I call you Kayla Kangaroo?
I don't care. It's fine.
Okay. All right. It helps me remember names. All right. Now, the next person is Sarah Lynn Brock. Okay, Sarah, so you're watching after the fact. Go ahead and post what all the answers are.
Okay.
I'm here.
I'm here. I'm right here.
Okay. Hi, Sarah.
Hello. You can, I don't know why my middle name always comes up. You don't have to call me Sarah Lindbrock. Just Sarah Swordfish is fine.
All right, Sarah Swordfish. Love that. Okay.
I just didn't want to be a snake. And that's all I could think of. So I'm originally from St. Charles, Illinois, which is 40 miles outside Chicago, but I've lived in Nashville for 20 years. I'm an online student, and I will finish not in May, but in the summer to be able to complete my internship. And my field placement is at Crossroads here in Nashville, which is it's a pet rescue, dogs and cats, but it's also housing for at-risk youth that are from about 19 to 24 years old. So Crossroads provides jobs for those youth, job training, and I'm working with the social worker that is working with them.
Yeah, that's an awesome program, man. It's a totally innovative program. There's not a lot like that in the country, so that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I really, that's one of the things I love. So hopefully what I'm going to learn is to learn a lot, but also really to have a toolkit that I can bring to the job to be able to help them out, and just really interested in, I love getting other people's points of view. So be interesting to see what the class brings in.
Cool. Thank you, Sarah. And the next is Courtney Crowder is not going to be with us. Courtney, thank you for your email. You're watching after the fact. You can answer the questions after the fact. Savannah Davis. Okay, same for you, Savannah. Joshua Dillard.
Hello.
Hi, nice to see you, Joshua.
Nice to see y'all. I'm Joshua the Jackal.
Joshua Jackal.
Yeah, and I'm from Bristol, Virginia. I'm in advanced standing currently right now. BSSW in social work from UT. I graduated this past May. and I hope to get a greater knowledge of these practices.
Thanks. Great to have you with us. Yep. Okay, the next is Charlene Fletcher. Okay, the next is Whitney Fortner. Okay.
Charlene is there. She's on the, I don't know if she can hear you.
Let's see. Charlene, are you here? I can't hear you, Charlene. Raise your, okay, there you are.
Her phone's muted.
You have to unmute yourself. I can't hear you.
Phone not trying to read her lips.
For some reason, Charlene, I'm not even able to unmute you. I'm not sure what's happening. Why don't you text, why don't you use the chat feature of the Zoom to answer the questions? Can you see the chat feature at the bottom of the Zoom window? Okay, go ahead and answer the questions there. I'll come back to you. Thank you, Charlene. Thanks, guys, for helping me see that Charlene was here. I do need you to make a big, some kind of a thing so I can see that who you are. Okay. Whitney Fortner. Okay. Brittany Fox.
Hi.
Let me see. Say it
I'm
again.
Brittany Fox, and I would be Brittany Bear.
Brittany Bear.
I am from Traverse City, Michigan, so way up north. I'm an advanced standing student here at UT, and I am at STAR Therapeutic Writing Center. And what I hope to get out of the class is I want to learn and build my skills on mediation so that I can further a career in social work.
Great to have you here, Brittany. Thank you. And Kaylee Hall. Okay.
She isn't here.
What?
I said she isn't here. I think she said she was going to rewatch the class.
Okay, great. Mari is here. Hi, Mari.
Hi.
Nice to see ya.
You too.
Okay.
Okay, so I am Mari Meerkat.
Mari Meerkat.
And I am from Arizona. But I'm at UT Knoxville right now. I'm a full-time student, and I will graduate in May. My field placement right now is with the Knox County Public Defender's Office. And then what I hope to get out of this class is, I don't know, I feel like being a mediator makes me kind of nervous. And so what I hope to get out is to feel more confident and to feel not so nervous. Conflict really stresses me out. So if I could be more comfortable with that, I think that would be great.
Cool. Great. Great goal. Thank you, Mari. And Bethany Hill. And Brittany Hill. Both a Bethany and a Brittany Hill.
Brittany is at her internship. She won't be here today.
Okay. Jennifer Johnson. Okay.
Hello. So I'm going to be Jennifer Jaguar, since nobody's taken it yet. I'm originally from Boise, Idaho. I am, let's see, where am I? I'm at the Middle Path here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And I'm a full-time student in Knoxville. And let's see what else. What do I want to get from this class? I really want to learn like the official way to do mediation, not just kind of the off the cuff. So how to do it properly, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Great. So we call it emergent mediation, which just happens when you're in the hallways of your field placement and conflicts arise and you need to take care of it. Or mediation that occurs in the structure of a therapeutic counseling relationship. And then you have classic mediation, where people are coming to you as a third-party neutral to resolve a conflict. And this often occurs in as a precursor to the justice system. And so, Jennifer, that's what you're interested in, and learning that pure tool. And that's a core assignment for the class. Thank you, Jennifer Jaguar and Katie Lindsay.
Hi, I'm Katie. Katie Koala.
Voila, she got it.
There's not many K animals, so. So I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm an online advanced standing student. My current placement right now is at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Oh.
And so been doing that since August. And what I want to get out of this class, so when I was in middle school, I actually was a mediator for my classmates. Like you had to like interview and do all that stuff to become a mediator for your class. So I did that, and it was pretty interesting. It's very drama filled with 8th graders, but that's kind of my past on mediation. We don't deal with a lot of conflict in the clinic I work at, St. Jude. In other clinics, there's a lot of family conflict, but I work with survivors of cancer, so it's a different process. So that's pretty interesting, but I'm really excited about this class. So.
Great to have you, Katie Koala. And you were a peer mediator.
Yes.
And that is a really wonderful form of embedded mediation. Mediation programs that occur and are embedded within the culture of an organization.
Mm-hmm.
And a peer-based approach is a really cool approach. It's great for elementary and high school education models. Okay, very good. So that's Katie Koala. Noelle Linville.
Hi, I'm Noelle Newt.
Newt,
yes. I'm from Alpharetta, Georgia, which is right outside Atlanta. I didn't move to Tennessee until I came here for this program. And I'm at the Knoxville campus full-time student. My field placement right now is at Village Behavioral Health. And I also help out with the equine therapy they do there through Two-Step Revolution. And what I hope to get out of this class is pretty much anything about mediation. I don't really have much of any experience with it, so I think it'd be super helpful not only in my field, but whatever I get into in the future. So
excellent. Thank you. Glad to have you here. And Marista Lipsy.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Marista Mountain Lion.
Mountain Lion.
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a full-time student. My placement is at Northwest Middle School. And my hopes from this class is just learning to manage conflict better, to use it in practice, and also just everyday relationships.
Okay. Great to have you, Marista. And Christina is not here. Mackenzie Mosley.
Hi.
Hi. I see you. Thank you for putting your hand up. That was very helpful.
So I'm Mackenzie Moose.
Yes.
I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia, a little bit south Fayetteville, but I live in Knoxville now. I'm a full-time student at Knoxville, and my field placement is also at Northwest. I'm with Marista there. And what I expect to get out of this class, I think anxious was my word of how it made me feel. So just feeling a little bit less anxious when it comes to conflict and dealing with it professionally.
Excellent. That's a great goal for class. Thank you, Mackenzie Moose. And can I tell you a cool thing about mooses?
Yes,
please. Mooses have these like legs and knees. I feel like our knees just go like this.
Uh-huh.
Their knees are more like our elbows.
Oh, that's really cool.
Isn't it cool?
That's awesome, yeah.
Don't want to mess with the moose. They're actually a little bit intense. So
I recently went to Alaska, and I really wanted to see a moose, but we didn't get to see one.
Oh,
So.
I'm sorry. That would be cool to see one. Okay, Augusta O'Reilly.
I'm up top on my screen.
Hi, Augusta.
Augusta Anteater. I am from Raleigh, North Carolina, but I'm currently in Maine right now, hence the blanket. I have not seen any moose, but there are a ton of car accidents up here with them. I'm a full-time online student. I graduate in May, and then field placement is at New Beginnings, where we deal with at-risk and homeless youth. So I was definitely really interested in Sarah's program. Probably have to reach out to you.
Good.
And this class definitely come in handy with the kids. A lot of interpersonal relationships issues tend to blow up when they're hanging out at our outreach center. So that would be beneficial to actually have some formal training in that.
Excellent. Good deal. Okay. Great to have you, Augusta. And then Timothy Patton.
Hey, that's me.
Tim, you go by?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I wasn't here when we started this. What are we going over?
Well, you don't have to, but you're invited to pick an animal name that rhymes, that is alliteration. So Tim Tiger, Tim.
Turtle.
What is it, Joshua?
Turtle. No one's picked turtle.
Oh, turtle.
I'm going to go with turtle then.
Okay, Tim Turtle.
I am in my last semester at the Nashville campus. My placement is at Journey Pure, which is a A&D facility. And one of the things I hope to get out of this class is I'm going into relationship counseling, and I want to be able to effectively manage between two clients at the same time.
Great. So you're going into, you want to do marital counseling?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
That's what people like. Do any of you like 8th graders? Like, I love 8th graders. Some people are like, don't put me anywhere near a middle schooler. I would rather have wood put up underneath my fingernails. That's how I feel about couples counseling. You give me a family, I'll take a bunch of people, but couples counseling is hard work. You're drawn to it though, Tim, sounds like.
I am. I think it's the nosy part of me. I'm like, I want to see what's going on in this situation.
Well, it's such a need. So if you feel a call for it, that's great. I'm so glad, because having good couples therapists that like it, that get joy from helping in that way is such a blessing to couples that need support. So thank you.
Thank you.
For that. Yeah. And Abby Peters.
That's me.
Hi, Abby.
Hi. I'll do Abby Antelope.
Abby, we already have an antelope, don't we?
I think we have an anteater.
We have an anteater, but not an antelope. Okay, thank you.
I'm from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I am an advanced standing full-time student at in Knoxville. My field placement is at Maryville College. I'm a counseling intern there. And what I hope to get out of the class is kind of like Judd said, those more like concrete tools that I could use for both like personal use in my personal life and then professionally as well.
Great. Very good. Excellent. Great to have you, Abby Antelope. Yes, Abby Antelope. And now we have William Peter Rayburn. Okay, let's go to chat. Oh, Charlene, I don't see you on having responded on chat either. It's at the bottom of the window.
It's there, actually.
You just sent it.
I see it.
Oh, there it is. Charlene Sea Turtle. Thanks, guys. So, hi, Charlene. Thank you for writing this. Charlene Sea Turtle from California, lived in Nashville for 24 years, full-time Nashville student on campus, field placement, Journey Pure, addiction, co-occurring mental health disorder treatment. I've been designing experiential animal-assisted exercises using my dog in therapy groups, and I'm doing equine therapy. Beautiful. Hope to learn more techniques for assisting with mediation. I don't want to be an official mediator, but I recognize the skill is needed for every relationship. Great. Great to have you here, Charlene. Really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you can reach out to 974-9900 to get some support for how to make your Zoom work for our next session. Let me know if I can help you with that. But thanks for flexibly problem solving with the text chat. So we don't have William Rayburn here, it looks like. Laura Rich. Okay. Taylor we have.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Taylor.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I will be Taylor the Tiger, so I'm really glad Tim didn't steal that one.
Okay.
I am from Georgia. I am currently a full-time student here in Knoxville. I'm at Boys and Girls Club, and I'm currently implementing a habit program at the Halls Powell location, where I've been actually for the last 2 years of grad school. So I'm really excited about that. And honestly, I am so excited about this class because I'm currently running a middle school girls group, which, like you said, makes most people cringe, but I love it. And so I am so excited to have some more skills to help with that because it is constant every day.
Yeah. Good.
So,
excellent.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here, Taylor Tiger. Okay. Sonia Snyder. Where are you, Sonia? I saw you. There you are. Hi.
Hi. So I am Sonia Sloth.
Sonia Sloth.
Yes, and I am from Cleveland, Tennessee. I am a full-time student in Knoxville, graduating in May. For my field placement, I have the macro intern placement in the vet social work program with Dr. Strand. And what I really hope to get out of this class is I'm the one who put the word cringe when we were doing the poll. I really, conflict makes me cringe. I really find that I avoid it. So I would just like to be more comfortable with it.
Right. Thank you, Sonia Sloth. So that's not an insult if I call you Sonia Sloth.
No, I actually thought that was just such a cute animal. I had to take it. But it's really opposite of me because it's very slow and people say I talk really fast and move around really fast. So I don't know.
Okay. Thank you, Sonia. A few
You're a sloth with the diagnosis. Right?
So we have now Rachel Stafford and Alexis Street. And I might have gotten everybody. Seth Taylor. Okay,
I'm right here.
Oh, hi,
Sorry.
Seth.
Took me a
Hi.
minute to find the unmute button. So I'm Seth Taylor. I'll go with Seth Sea Otter.
Sea Otter.
Yeah, and so I am from Lake City, Tennessee. It's called Rocky Top now, so I'm from Rocky Top, Tennessee. And I am a full-time student at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. I'll graduate in May. My field placement is at Student Disability Services here at the University of Tennessee. And I would like to get a little bit more comfortable with managing conflict resolution. And yeah.
Yeah, that's good. It comes up in the field placement setting
It does.
actually quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. So glad to have you here, Seth. What I need to do is I want to make sure I didn't misclick anybody. So I'm going to run through this again. And if I didn't call your name and you're here, then at the end, let me know that I missed you. So Kayla is here. Sarah is here. Joshua is here. Charlene is here. Brittany is here. Mari is here. Jennifer is here. Katie is here. Noelle is here. Marista is here. Mackenzie is here. Augusta is here. Tim is here. Abby is here. Taylor is here. Sonia is here. Alexis is here. And Seth is here. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well done. Okay, so what we're going to do now is spend a little time reviewing the course. And I will bring up so this is our Canvas site. And here is the syllabus. Please print out the syllabus and read it thoroughly. I've only added some bigger points to the actual Canvas site. So to read about the assignments themselves, you'll need to print off the syllabus and look at it together. I will go ahead and download that. So you can reach me by calling or texting. I do go to bed early, so please try to reach out earlier in the evening if you need something. And I don't have specific office hours because this is an online class, but if you ever need to schedule a time to talk, please send me a text message and we will meet by Zoom in this way. So would somebody go ahead and read this out loud?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
the value of this course comes from learning to remain calm and skillful conflict that is heavy with emotional charge and rigid positions. As a social worker, this will happen every day in your professional life. As a human being, it will happen in your personal life as well. Your course effort will result in having skills needed for building peace in your professional and personal life.
thank you. Would somebody read this?
I can. This is a course on the principles and techniques of mediation and conflict resolution strategy. Mediation is an alternative approach to dispute resolution in which an impartial third party, sorry, my phone's ringing. In which an impartial third party, called the mediator, works with parties involved in a dispute in order to facilitate the peaceful and satisfactory resolution of the dispute. This course is designed to introduce the student to theory and techniques of conflict resolution and mediation.
Good. Would somebody read this?
This course will be offered online. The course includes readings, short instructional videos, recorded lectures, discussion boards, journals, video communication and development, audio recordings, online quizzes, self and peer assessment. As a professor, I have things to teach and things to learn. As a student, you also have things to learn and things to teach. In the class, you have a role, and I have a role. Below are the descriptions.
So I'll read my role. My role is I will provide relevant material to read, meaningful engagement, activities to complete, and clear methods of assessment to accomplish the objectives of the course. I will communicate clearly about technology requirements for this class. I will elicit and consider your feedback throughout class to understand your experience as a learner, and I will tell you what I am learning through working with you. Would somebody read this?
I can read that.
Thanks.
You will take responsibility for accessing technological help as needed through UT OIT Help Desk. You will engage in the course material, activities, and assessment of this class. You will provide feedback to each other, me, and very importantly, to yourself. You will be prepared to fail at some tasks and improve as the course progresses. By engaging with each other and honoring and executing the roles well, we will be able to create a collaborative learning environment.
Thanks so much. This word, you will be prepared to fail. I don't mean like an F for the class. I mean, be prepared to take risks. You don't have to be perfect in the tools of this class and trying on conflict resolution strategies. In fact, the language used in conflict resolution can often feel really awkward at first. It sometimes can feel like putting on a pair of shoes that are too big. So I ask you in this class to be willing to try something and not do it well, because that's what learning is about. So, so that's what that means. Your textbooks are this 2017 version of conflict resolution for the helping professions. I love this book. It is very, very thorough, and we will read the entire book. Now, I will say that at the end of the chapters, there's always key points, and then a lot of the ends of the chapters have a lot of exercises. You don't have to read through all of those exercises, of course. I will pick and choose the exercises that we will do. But this is our main text. You also have this other text, which I don't have a hard copy of because I think it's might only be digital. But this is a more popular text, and it's really about this whole idea of staying calm in the midst of conflict, which I think from a self-care perspective is really important for social workers, since so much of our work involves some form of conflict somewhere. And then there's actually, these are the main text. I only gave you one other book, a small tool that I'll come to that you read this first unit. So these are your grade breakdown. You will do a mediation simulation. This will mostly be done, and it will be recorded. Let's see, I think I've got a question here from Charlene, maybe. Dr. Strand, the Zare text can be found on Amazon in the printed version. Thank you, Charlene.
I found the printed version at the Knoxville Vol bookstore.
Oh, they got it. They got it there.
There was 3 of them. Actually, I had to tell something about that. I asked the front desk what the name of the book was, and she had told me, hold on to yourself, and turned around and helped somebody, and it didn't click for like 15 seconds. And then I asked her again, and she said it again. And I was like, do I give myself a hug? Do I go walk out the door? So I went back and found the book, and then it clicked, and then I told her, and we laughed.
Good. So you had a fun moment. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so the mediation simulation will be, you will pick a conflict. You will find people to play the different parties in your conflict. You will mediate the conflict using the steps outlined in the classic peer mediation process. You will record it, you will upload it, and then about 4 peers will review it and give you feedback. And I will also review it and give you feedback. That is towards the end of the semester. That happens after comps. So before then is practicing those skills and learning those skills, but you actually don't have to record the thing until after you, for those of you that are taking comps this semester after comps. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Class participation is showing up to class, or if you've missed class, reviewing the recording and answering the questions. Class participation also involves completing the assignments on time, engaging in discussion board posts. Module quizzes, each of these modules at the end has a quiz. And the quizzes come from this book only. So you won't get quiz questions from the Zare book, just this book. And you are broken into groups. So each of you is in a group of about 5 to 6 students, and you all are welcome to complete the module quizzes as a group. You don't have to do them by yourself, and they are open book. So I'm not interested in, trying to trick you, or, I'm interested in you learning the material. And I think that part of teaching such a interpersonal skill like mediation in an online format is a challenge. And one of the ways that I think we can handle that challenge is by making most of the work collaborative in nature. So again, you have to complete a quiz, but you don't have to do it by yourself. You can do it with your group with an open book. Does that make sense?
I got a question, Dr. Strand. I know you just said it, but you did say after the comps exams is when we'll do the recorded mediation?
Yes.
Okay. So after March. Okay.
After March, yeah.
Thank you.
We'll go through the due dates in a moment.
Okay.
And then reflective practice. So within each of the modules, you have discussion boards. Sometimes you might watch a video and I'll ask you to reflect, how does this feel? You'll be doing mindfulness practice in class. How did the mindfulness practice feel? You also have these group shares. So you will complete a group share. So let me click on the first module. And you always have a module overview, which outlines everything that you're doing in that module. So the live session is today. What you'll read is the Barsky text chapters. It's actually chapters 1 to 3, but pages 1 to 126. The Zare chapters 1 through 6. And then you'll complete various discussion boards and such. You'll conduct and submit your group share by 2-1 and complete your module quiz by 2-1. Let me just go through this. So this is the where this lecture recording will be posted here. So those of you that are watching this after the fact will come to this discussion board and post your responses. This is your first assignment. Practice technology. You will upload and share a video. So record a video and introduce yourself by saying where you were born, your favorite animal and why, and 2 things you'd hope to get from this class. This is, again, we just did it live, but this is to practice technology of uploading a video, because that's going to be part of what you'll do in your final assignment, is uploading videos. The next is a part of the class is the peer review process. So here you will answer the following questions. What is the most difficult part of conflict for you? What is one thing you believe would help you deal with that conflict better? What knowledge and skills or attitudes do you have that will help you deal with conflict? Then after you submit this, you will be assigned peer review of 4 of your peers, where you'll give them feedback about what they wrote. I think I have another comment from Charlene. Dr. Strand, how do we know our groups, or do we pick our own things? If you go to groups, oh yeah, thank you, Augusta. Great. So your groups are already there, and if you go to groups, you'll just automatically only see your group. When you're practicing peer review, there will be a rubric that will tell you how to peer review. And again, remember, you have to be willing to fail. These tasks right now are to practice the technology that we'll be using in class. So if you don't get it perfectly, it's not going to cause you to fail the class. You're expected to try. And to call OIT if you have questions regarding the technology. Again, we use a lot. This is a heavy technology class. Teaching mediation in this format is, it requires complexity of technology. So these are designed to help you practice.
Dr. Strand, will we ever have a face-to-face class?
This is our face-to-face. This is a completely online class.
Okay. I didn't know, but just because of the fact that the schedule on UTK just has a block of time from 9 to 12 on Thursday. That's just why I was asking.
Yes, we have 4 live sessions. They will occur usually between 10 and 11 Eastern time, sometimes going over to 11:15, but we will not have any live face-to-face classes. This is an online class.
All right, thanks.
Then you are to post the video link below as your response. So basically, this is an assignment, and you'll copy this link and you'll post it as your response, as if it was your video, and then one of your peers will provide feedback about that video using the rubric that we're using for evaluating videos, the mediation simulations. Okay, let me pause and stop. The only way to really learn how to do this is to try. I can't really explain it to you. It's pretty complex, but if you just start the process and try, you'll learn how to use it. But let me stop and see if there are any questions.
It's a written rubric off of what their video is?
Yeah, what will happen is you'll submit your video, then you will come back to this very spot and you'll see, oh, I'm supposed to review this peer review this other person's video. When you do it, this rubric will come up.
Right.
Yeah. Let's see. Hello. Let's see. So the class, okay, I'll come back to that. That's a private message. I'll come back to that. All right, so here is the rubric.
And so this is just a practice. This isn't the first one.
That's right. This is just practice. In fact, the video that you're posting as your own is a video that you will watch and give feedback about. But this is just to practice. Good question, Tim. Just practice.
All right.
Practice for technology. Conflict scenario. Please describe the kind of conflict scenario you might consider simulating for your final assignment. And this one, you will get some peer feedback as well. This is the other reading. This is a manual called The 7 Challenges of Cooperative Communication Workbook. This is a free manual. You can download it off the internet, and it has 7 challenges that help with communication. It's a great tool. You're not going to be tested on this manual. You'll get an opportunity to discuss it with your group share. So I would say if you had to prioritize your reading, this is the one to give the most attention to, because this was the one that's going to have the quizzes. The second Zare book is really for yourself. Please read that and discuss it, but you're not going to be tested on it, and you're not going to be tested on this 7 Challenges book. But some of you might really like this 7 Challenges book and see if you apply it in your field placements or in your future practice. For instance, Tim, there are some good skills here that might be good for couples. So it's a good resource to have on hand.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Here's your reading assignment that we've just reviewed. This is an instrument for you to download and complete, and it teaches, you will complete your conflict style. This is a short recorded lecture on conflict styles, a review of it. Another short recorded lecture on role strain and role conflict, which often comes up in organizations. This is a short video on mindfulness practice. This is a body scan. So this is a mindfulness practice that I use in the mindfulness-based stress reduction class. And it's long, but the expectation is that you would complete it at least one time, experience it once, maybe more if you like it. This is the video that in the practice technology, remember I said you're going to copy this link and you're going to submit this video as if it was your own. This is the video you'll be submitting. So I'd like you to reflect on what you experienced while watching the video. So this is a reflection assessment. This is a reflection discussion post. This is just a plain discussion post. How do I deal with conflict? And then this is your group share. Let me go over this real quick. So the things that you do in your group share is that all of you share 3 things that you took away from your readings. And those will include, for this unit, the Barsky readings, the Zare readings, and the 7 challenge text. You'll also, as a group, each of you share what parts of the unit did you like the most and what parts did you not like the most, that you found least interesting. And that question will be part of your group share every single group share you do. You'll share what you thought the body scan was like. And then in the Barsky text, on pages 99 and 124, there are some activities. And so I'd like you as a group to discuss those activities. You'll find them on those pages and that number in your Barsky text. Your group share should not exceed an hour, and I will review them and provide you some comment back. Within 1 week, all of you need to go back and just reflect on how your group share was. What did you learn from your group share? What did you take away? If for some reason you cannot attend your group share, which trying to get 5 or 6 very busy people together at the same time all the time is hard. So if for some reason you have to miss a group share, you can watch the group share after the fact and post your responses to these questions. Does that make sense? Are there any questions? Go ahead.
I've got a question. Does everything, and everything's in each individual module within Canvas? I mean, there is, it's listed among each module, correct?
That's right. So we are basically, Joshua, what we're going through right now is exactly what you see. When you click on the first module, you'll see these exact tasks that we've just reviewed. Exactly. And then this is your final quiz, Module 1 quiz. And again, it's open now. It's there's not going to be a time limit. You can work on it together, open book. And then this is Unit 2. This is an overview of Unit 2. I haven't made everything available yet, so I'm going to be working on putting everything available for Unit 2 and Unit 3. So let me go back to the home page. You can see that you have 4 main units. The first one is due February 1st. The second one is due March 1st. The third one is due April 5th. And the last one is due April 26th.
I have a question about the due dates, Dr. Strand. So Unit 1, it's all due February 1st, but there's still, the practice technologies are still due before that, correct? The due dates on there are supposed to be different. I know some teachers don't realize that they put those due dates on there, so I just want to verify.
Yeah, so the first unit, you have some due dates that are required before. That's exactly right. Because I really want you to jump in there and practice the technology. And if we wait until February 1st and you haven't practiced the technology, we're really behind the game. So this first unit, you have some due dates that are due before February 1st. After that, my real goal is to make everything due the final day. Just because I believe that you guys having flexibility and not a lot of confusion is much better. So, but the first unit, we do have some due dates in advance. Make sense? Okay.
I have one question. I was believing that we were supposed to have a paper that was designed around another class. I know that last semester, whenever I signed up for this mediation class, I was talking to Jennifer Scagnelli, and she was mentioning that there's a paper, a separate assignment that we're supposed to do for a veterinary certificate among our other classes. Is that true, or is that something that's gone away, or am I missing something?
Nope, that's true. And Joshua, I'll talk with you about that offline since it's not applying to this class.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
Okay, it's all right. I will follow up with you on that.
Okay, thank you.
Let me check the group chat here to see. Yeah, my question has come up, and I will follow up for those of you that are pursuing their certificate program about the assignment requirement. Okay, let me just scroll down here. I wanted to look at the syllabus together. Let's talk about the mediation simulation really quickly. Again, this is 40% of your grade. You will do a mediation recorded session, and it will include these steps: the opening statement, facilitating storytelling, defining the problem to be solved, brainstorming, facilitating negotiation, building the tentative problem resolution strategy, writing an agreement, and bringing the mediation session to a close. You will have an example of these steps to look at in the next unit, the next module. The tasks are that you would develop a conflict scenario that you'll choose to do. You'll locate your disputants, people to play your disputants. You'll mediate the conflict using the steps above. After that, you'll submit your video, and you'll also watch the videos of others. So not only is this about submitting your own video, but you giving feedback to others is part of the assignment too. And yep, I think that's it. The due date for the mediation is you'll submit your final mediation, recorded mediation, on April 5th, 2018. And between April 5th and there's a problem with dates here. I've got to go back and check that. During the month of April is when you all will submit your mediations and engage in the peer review process. So that's going to be an end of the semester task. Okay, let's see here. Let me pause for a moment, stop share, see what questions you all have.
I have a question. I think I might have misread because of the difference in time zones. So you started at this class at 10 o'clock Eastern time, correct?
Yes, it is 10 o'clock Eastern time. So it'll be 9 o'clock for those of you that are on Central Standard Time. Is anybody on the West Coast? Way out there? No. Okay. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Eastern time. Yep. Other questions?
I had another one. I actually, so for those of us that use Macs, do you know of a video recorder program that works well with uploading? I have never really done much uploading.
Yeah. So, good question. So, you mean like how to record a video or how to upload it, or both?
Both for dummies.
Okay. QuickTime is free, and you can do a recording from your Macintosh camera.
Okay.
Now, I will say that, let me share one more thing here. I just located a new technology. It is called, you see, this is your class. It's called Arc Media. And this is what you all will be using to upload your videos. So you go to Arc Media, and this is in your drop-down, and you add a video. And you can add it by dragging and dropping it here, or you can put your video on YouTube and put your, paste the link here.
Okay.
How does that, Tim, how does that answer the questions?
It does. If I remember right, one of the assignments, maybe it's one of the practice ones, asks us to upload it to YouTube. Will that count if we use the Arc Media Library and just drag and drop?
Yeah, that is a good question, Tim. And I think what I'd like to do is go back and change the language of that assignment. This Arc Media Library technology, I just got yesterday. So when I wrote the assignment, we didn't have it available. So I think what I'd like to have you all do is to use the Arc Media Library approach. And so I will rewrite that assignment to reflect that.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Canvas side. I'm not seeing where the Arc Library was.
Let's see if anybody else is able to see it. Nobody sees it?
No.
I'm in Special Ed 557.
Okay, so that's my first task, because I've got to go and make sure that the settings are such that you all are able to upload as well. Okay, so I have to get back to you on that, class, and Tim.
Okay.
Okay, good questions. What else? Again, collaborative. We're doing a collaborative thing here, so these are great questions.
I have a question.
Hi, Mari.
Hi. It says that the video should not exceed an hour in length. But I guess I'm just wondering, like, does it typically take that long? Like, should it be like about 45, 50 minutes, or do you just not want us to go over that?
I think that for the ability of me to watch, that's almost 30 hours of spending time looking at videos. And so I think I can't see a video longer than an hour. A typical mediation is actually 3 hours.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's medium part. Mari's like, oh, that's slow. So yours won't be that long because you're doing a simulation. But sometimes if you really get into it, it can go over an hour. So you're invited to edit it to reflect the skills that are required to be seen in the assignment.
Okay. So we should like come close to an hour, I guess is what I'm asking.
I would say if you do it in less than a half an hour, you probably haven't showed the skills well.
Okay.
I think that's what you're looking for, is like, how short can it be?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think you can't show the skills effectively in less than a half an hour.
Okay.
So between a half an hour and an hour, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yes.
So Dr. Strand, if you participate in these sessions, you do not have to do a discussion board. Is it only for those that are not able to watch these sessions?
If you are here in this live session, you do not need to do the discussion board. Good questions, guys. What else?
Dr.
I have.
Go ahead.
You can go, Sarah.
Oh, thanks. I'm on a Mac too, Tim, so you should be able to record through Photo Booth.
Okay.
That's really easy.
Gotcha. I need easy.
Yeah.
I do too.
Good. Thanks for helping each other out. That's great. Okay, there was another question?
Yeah, I didn't know if you could release the emails, because I know I was looking at the groups, and like one of our members, when you type it into our email, there's like 3 Christinas, and she's not in this group. She's not right here. So I didn't know if there was a way for you to release the students in their emails, because I don't think I haven't found an easy way to look for other members in their email. Does that make sense?
So you would like to see a list of the people that are in your group?
Well, I see the list of their names, but then like getting in contact with them via email.
So being able to send an email to your group.
Right.
Let me look at the settings. You should be able to do that, but I'll check out the settings to see about that, Augusta.
Because like I found 3 of my members by just typing into my school email.
Okay. I think there's a way for you to use the group setting, the group page, to email everybody in your group. But I will check that.
Dr. Strand?
Yes.
If everybody starts on their homepage and then clicks on people on the
your screen, Jennifer. So that
I'm sorry. I was up getting coffee. If everybody clicks on their home screen and then looks at the
No,
listing on the
Jennifer, I'm sorry, Jennifer. What I'm saying is, why don't you click the share screen button and show us what you'd like us to see?
Ah, got it. Hold on.
At the bottom of the window, it's a green button. It says share screen.
I'm trying to get Zoom to reduce down.
It's
Okay.
at the top. It's exit full screen.
Yeah, I'm actually, hold on. Yeah, when I hit exit, it didn't give it to me, unfortunately. So give me 1 second here.
Take your time.
Okay. So share screen. Okay, so this one, if you go to people, it'll list everybody, and then when you highlight the name, you can actually get the email address from them by, how did I do this? Shoot, it used to let you email them. I'm sorry. Oops. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, because it used to be under the contact information, it would have it, but now it doesn't. And so, but when you go to your email, like if you go to the Gmail, you can type in the people, you can type in your classmate's name. But like one of my classmates that are in my group, there's 3 Christina Moores, and I don't know which one's her.
Yeah, so you need a list of the email addresses of the people in your group.
Right.
Okay, let me work on how to best facilitate it. And then I'm also going to work on, Tim, the question about digital arc and how to upload the videos. And anything else? What other questions do you have?
So have our group members list already been emailed out?
Yeah, if you go to, let me show. If you go to Canvas, you go to home, and then you go to people, and you go to group shares, you should see your group.
Oh, gotcha. So we're keeping the same group for each module?
That's right. Yeah, you guys are a pod for the whole semester.
Okay.
What other questions?
So for the, I'm sorry. So I'm looking at the practice technology assignments, in particular number 3, and it's saying about posting a video and then providing peer review feedback. So we would post that in the submit assignment tab.
Yes.
Okay, and then just
come back to it later.
Mm.
And on the due date, so if you submit it before the due date, you won't have your peer reviews. But on the due date, it would automatically send you the people that you need to be peer reviewing. So you come back to that exact assignment, and there'll be information there that says, please peer review this person, this person, this person, this person.
Okay, perfect.
Other questions?
I do have another question. For the mediation simulation video, do we do that with the people in our mediation group or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. You could choose some of the people in your group to be your players, but you can also choose people from church, your parents. You can have people that are not social work students at all be your character. Other questions?
Dr. Strand, for our practice mediation, do we need to do that in person with the people, or can we reach out to other locations? What's your preference?
When you say in person, what other options would there be?
I'm thinking online, as a lot of people are doing conference calls for so much nowadays. Not the best, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I've given permission for online mediations because actually there is a growing specialty, and I'm big into technologies for online mediation. So if you wanted to do your mediation in an online format in a Zoom session like this, you could.
Thank you.
Yep. Other questions? Okay, let me share the screen one more time. So I just wanted to give you a general sense of the mediation process. A dispute occurs, and then somehow there's a step one is preparation. And this is where you probably meet with the parties of the dispute ahead of time so that they know what is expected. You get a sense of what their perspective is. You set expectations about what the mediation would be like, how long they should take out of their day to be there. Then they come together in the room and you do a introduction. You explain the rules and you set a positive tone. And so these would be examples of ground rules that would be set. And the mediator has to be in charge of the mediation process. You can imagine that people who are in conflict are coming to a mediator because they have not been able to solve it themselves. And that oftentimes what happens is volatile or interrupting. And so the mediator has to establish his or her compassionate and gentle but clear authority in guiding the mediation process. Then you give parties chances to tell their story without being interrupted and help the parties identify their issues and what their interests are. From here, sometimes we go into something called caucus, and this is when you have private meetings. So you separate your disputants and you spend some time with disputant A and some time with disputant B. And you don't claim that you will not, that those are 100% private meetings, but you also don't go from disputant A to tell disputant B what disputant A said. That's called shuttle mediation. We'll cover that a little bit, but that's not generally what caucuses are for. Caucuses are when emotions get too high or a person is not sharing a very important part of the conflict because they feel unsafe to do so with the other disputant. So caucus is an important tool in mediation that you use to keep the mediation moving along. At that point, you move into problem solving. And a lot of times here, it is more of a collaborative process where there's not a lot of taking turns. People just share ideas. The mediator often gets up at a whiteboard and writes down all the possible solutions that could occur. And then from there, you take all the possible solutions and you start to hunker down to start to prioritize or pick the solutions that participants might be willing to consider, and then come up with a document that is the agreement. So that is the general mediation process in its purest form. There are different iterations of it, but this is basically it. So, any other questions before we sign off? Okay. Well, that was about an hour and a half. I would expect about an hour and a half, hour and 15, hour and a half for our sessions. Thank you for your attention. And the unit 1 is up there. There might be 1 or 2 slight changes that occur. If I make a change, I will communicate that to you right away. And I think that's it. Hope you guys have a good day. Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.